Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm gonna be creating this look for you today. This is a look that I've been wearing a lot lately. It's pretty easy to do. It's also not as dramatic as far as the eyeshadow goes as a lot of my other looks where I do like a lot of cut creases. So I decided to create it for you today, and I'm gonna be using all Smashbox products. And I'm actually here filming at the Smashbox studio today in Culver City. So thank you so much, you guys, for having me. So if you wanna see how to get this look, then keep on watching. So first, to start off the eyeshadow, I'm gonna add some of the Photo Finish 24-hour shadow primer. This will help to prevent any fading, creasing, or smudging throughout the day. And you just wanna add a tiny little bit to each lid. All right, so now I'm just gonna add a neutral color eyeshadow base to the lid. This will help to create a nice smooth canvas to build shadow on. I'm gonna go ahead and prep my skin too before I start my eyeshadow. And to do that, I'm gonna be using the Photo Finish foundation primer. This one is super lightweight and it'll just help to create a perfect canvas for our foundation when we're ready to do it. Also, before I start my shadow, I'm gonna add a little bit of concealer to the under eye area, just that way I don't have to go back in after. And today I'm gonna be using the Smashbox HD concealer, and this is in the shade Light. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and start on the eyeshadow, and I'm gonna be using the Photo Op eyeshadow trio in the color Filter. And I'm gonna be starting with the middle shade, the middle darkest shade first. And I'm just gonna be adding this to like the outer V area of the eye, the outer V and the upper crease area. So I'm just gonna be lightly buffing it in with a super fluffy blending brush. So once you get enough product on your lid, you're just gonna wanna keep buffing it out in like a little circular motions, just that way it gets really, really blended. So now we have the shading on the outer edge of the eye. I'm gonna come back in with that really dark color in the trio and start to build up the outer V, just so we can add a little bit more shading and dimension. And to do that, I'm gonna be using a much smaller blending brush. And I'm just starting by adding it first on the very outer edge of the eye and then lightly buffing it towards the center of the lid. Okay, so now I'm just gonna come back in with that first blending brush and that middle shade and add a little bit just to the lid to kind of blend the dark shadow in with the inner part of the eye. So I'm just gonna lightly tap and buff together. So now I'm gonna be using the lightest color in the trio, and I'm just gonna be adding that right to the inner part of the lid to help brighten up the entire look. And I'm using just a flat shader brush. If you wanna make the look a little bit more dramatic, you can go ahead and add some either really, really dark brown shadow to the outer edge or some black eyeshadow just to the outer V. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'm actually gonna use a little bit of black shadow and a pencil brush and just start shading it just right on the outer V area. And I just use little tiny strokes to kind of blend it into the dark brown shadow so that way it's not really harsh. Okay, so you guys know how I usually do my eyeshadow. I really wing it out. I like exaggerate the wing, but this time I kept the shape pretty round. I did do like a slight little baby kind of wingage out here, but for the most part I kept it pretty round just because of like the blending that we're doing on the actual lid. I am gonna be adding a winged eyeliner today though, regardless of everything I just said about not winging it out. I am gonna fill it in a little bit more, but I don't wanna make it quite as long and dramatic as what I usually do, because I do want it to be a little bit more understated than my normal wing, which is like whoosh. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add some mascara, and I'm gonna be using the Lengthening and Volumizing Full Exposure Mascara. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my complexion. And first what I'm gonna do is spritz my face with a little bit of the primer water, just because you guys know I kind of have like drier skin. And for foundation today, I'm gonna be trying out the Studio Skin foundation. This is in the shade 2.2. As you can tell, I need to match my foundation to my body, not my face. So now I'm just gonna be using a little bit of concealer to highlight around the eye area, and then I'm just gonna be lightly buffing it out and then setting it with a sheer setting powder. Okay, and while that's setting, I'm gonna go ahead and do a light contour on the nose using the contour stick, and I'm just gonna be adding it to a brush so it doesn't apply as much product. And then I'm gonna go ahead and dust off some of the excess setting powder around the eyes. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and dust a light layer of sheer setting powder all over my face. Now we're gonna do a little contour on the cheekbone, and to do that, I'm gonna be using the Smashbox contour palette. So I'm just gonna be using the contour shade. And for blush today, I'm just gonna be adding a really light layer of rose-toned blush. And then to bronze my skin, I'm gonna be using the Bronze Light Warm Matte Bronzer. Then I'm just gonna add a bright highlight to the tops of my cheekbones and down the center of my nose. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and add some lashes to this look, and I'm just gonna be using some nice fluttery, natural, wispy ones. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and finish the lower lash line. So I'm just gonna be adding the middle and dark colors from the eyeshadow trio. I don't want the lower lash line to be too smoky, so I'm just gonna be adding a little bit of the dark brown shadow just to the outer edge. And then I'm just gonna add a dark brown liner to the waterline. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and add some mascara to the lower lashes to finish off the look. Okay, so now to finish off this look, I wanna do like a really bold lip. So first what I'm gonna be doing is just adding an orange colored lip liner to my lips, and then adding the Be Legendary lipstick, and this is in the color Fireball Matte, which is like a really intense, bright, kind of orangey red color. So that wraps up this look. If you guys wanna see details on the products that I used, make sure you check the description box down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.